This striking photograph shows the harsh reality of justice during wartime. A uniformed officer tightens a rope around a person whose hands are tied. The image reveals the immense power held in moments like these, where decisions could mean life or death. It's a stark reminder of the harsh measures taken during times of conflict. Captured in a powerful moment, a high-ranking German officer stands under guard as American soldiers surround him. One soldier gently places a hand on the officer's chest, signaling that his fate is sealed. His steady gaze carries the heavy weight of defeat, reflecting how quickly power shifted at the end of the war. This image speaks volumes about the turning tides of history. In an open field, people are forced into a ditch, highlighting scenes of mass roundups that happened during wartime. Their uneasy postures and the armed watchers nearby reveal how ordinary lives were thrown into chaos. The photo silently echoes the fear and uncertainty faced by those caught in the middle of conflict. Standing on a simple wooden platform, a condemned person awaits their fate, surrounded by military personnel and a chaplain. The combination of uniformed officers and spiritual presence adds to the tension of the moment, showing how formal procedures were carried out even in life and death situations. It's a powerful glimpse into how punishment was delivered during war. Inside a cramped room, a uniformed officer oversees several people, holding their hands up in surrender. Their fearful faces and the tight space bring out the intense anxiety and helplessness felt by those facing such moments. This image vividly shows how quickly power could be asserted over individuals during wartime. A harrowing scene unfolds as a row of civilians hangs from a gallows set up in public view. Behind them, shattered windows hint at earlier violence. The entire scene was meant to send a message, showing how fear was used as a tool to keep control during times of occupation and unrest. Under a sturdy wooden structure, two people hang with their hands bound. They are identified as prisoners taken after the Chilembwe Rising of 1915. This historic photo captures the harsh response to anti-colonial uprisings, reminding us of the heavy price paid by those who resisted imperial rule. It's a window into the struggle for freedom. In a tense public gathering, a person kneels on the ground as they face execution by decapitation, watched by a large crowd. The photo reflects how, in some periods of history, justice or punishment was carried out in front of many people, showing the extreme methods used to enforce laws or maintain order during troubled times. In a barren, excavated landscape, a single person, bound to a wooden pole, stands ahead of a line of soldiers preparing to fire. The precise stance of the shooters shows how organized and deliberate such actions were. This photograph captures the severe consequences faced by individuals during wartime and how quickly justice was delivered in military courts. This deeply somber photograph, labeled German SW Africa Hanging Party, 312 Negroes Hanged, shows a mass execution in a colonial setting. Soldiers in uniform stand casually, while many individuals hang from rough wooden structures. The image records a dark chapter of racial violence and harsh punishment during the Herero and Namakwa conflicts, revealing the immense suffering inflicted under colonial rule. A deeply moving scene unfolds in this photograph, where uniformed soldiers aim their rifles at a group of civilians forced into a trench. Fear is etched on the faces of those inside, while the soldiers stand ready, showing the harsh control held during times of war. This haunting image reminds us how civilian lives were tragically caught in the crossfire of conflict. Along a lonely coastline, a military firing squad prepares to shoot three veiled individuals who stand exposed against the vast, empty seascape. The stark contrast between the soldiers and these isolated figures shows how absolute authority was enforced, even in remote places. It's a powerful glimpse into executions carried out far from public eyes. In a tense, chaotic moment, soldiers seem to be carrying out an execution of several captured people. One man lifts his hands, perhaps in surrender or desperation. The charged atmosphere, with weapons raised and expressions full of fear, reveals the harsh and immediate nature of wartime justice in close encounters. A large crowd fills a snowy city square, staring up at a row of individuals hanging from gallows. The sheer number of witnesses shows how these public punishments were meant to spread fear and keep people under control during periods of conflict. This photograph speaks to how fear was used as a tool to suppress any hint of resistance. In the center of a busy town square, a person hangs from a gallows, capturing everyone's attention. A large sign hangs from the body, likely listing the supposed offenses. This grim scene reflects how punishment was displayed publicly, using fear and propaganda to send strong messages during times of political turmoil or war. In a crowded street, a kneeling person, possibly a captive, faces an individual holding a sword, while armed guards and shocked onlookers surround them. The intense moment highlights how quickly judgment could be carried out, showing the severe consequences people faced during times of widespread conflict. It's a stark window into the harsh justice of wartime. In a barren landscape, 3 bound individuals, stripped to the waist, stand or kneel as soldiers prepare for their execution. A distant crowd watches silently. The simplicity of the scene emphasizes how such acts were sometimes carried out with ritual-like precision. It's a chilling reminder of how public punishment was used as a warning to others. Beneath a leafless, twisted tree, a person hangs from a noose, while a huge crowd gathers on the hillside nearby. The sheer size of the audience shows how public executions became moments witnessed by entire communities, often used to maintain control during turbulent times. This image captures the weight of collective memory shaped by such events. Thousands of people pack together around a towering gallows where several individuals stand visible on the platform. The sea of faces staring upward reflects the enormous scale of public executions carried out to send a forceful message to everyone watching. This photograph captures the wide-reaching impact of such scenes during times of great unrest. A person hangs from a gallows in a public place with a sign tied to their body explaining the alleged wrongdoing. The stark scene reminds us how punishment was sometimes put on display for all to see, used as a way to keep order and discourage any challenge to authority. It's a powerful reminder of how justice was carried out in times of conflict. In an open outdoor scene, a young person is tightly tied with ropes to a wooden structure lying on the ground. The atmosphere feels tense, hinting at a severe punishment or possibly an execution. Around them, a crowd watches closely, some raising their hands, creating a powerful image of people either taking part in or witnessing the event. This photo reveals how public displays were used to enforce control and send strong messages during times of conflict or strict social rule. This powerful photograph shows soldiers aiming their rifles at 2 unarmed individuals. One person kneels, appearing resigned to his fate, while the other stands and seems to try shielding himself from what's coming. The scene reveals how quickly justice could be carried out during conflicts, leaving people with little chance to escape their fate. In a busy street, 2 people dressed in traditional clothing prepare for a public execution, with one holding a large blade near a kneeling person. The surrounding crowd creates a tense atmosphere, reminding us how such punishments were not only carried out in public, but also served as frightening warnings during times of conflict. A soldier stands over a kneeling man, ready to execute him by sword. Against a blurred background, the focus stays on this intense moment, revealing the clear imbalance of power and the deep vulnerability of the person on the ground. It's a quiet but strong reminder of how quickly violence could erupt in wartime. Amid thick greenery, 2 soldiers keep watch over 2 bound individuals. One captive holds his hands together, possibly pleading, while the other appears resigned. The tension in the scene speaks of moments just before an interrogation or execution in a remote area. This photo reveals the fear and uncertainty faced by captives under military rule. This striking photograph shows a public execution by guillotine, surrounded by uniformed officials and officers. The orderly setting and the serious faces in the crowd highlight how such executions were conducted with strict formality, even though they involved taking a human life. It's a glimpse into how governments enforced order through severe measures. A pair of powerful images shows 2 moments leading up to an execution. Military police escort condemned individuals, moving them through their final steps. The serious expressions and military presence underline the heavy reality of wartime justice and the finality faced by those sentenced. It's a moving record of history's harsh decisions. In a dusty village, British soldiers oversee a large group of local men, many holding their hands up in surrender. This photograph shows the clear power held by occupying forces and the fear experienced by local communities during times of unrest. It's a telling glimpse into the daily reality of military control in colonial settings. Near a group of barracks, soldiers form a firing squad and aim at several people, smoke billowing from their weapons. The image captures the fast and organized way executions were carried out during wartime. The lingering haze adds an eerie silence, emphasizing the weight of what just happened. A young man stands with his hands tied behind him, a soldier standing close by. His intense stare reflects both courage and perhaps quiet acceptance of his fate. The photo powerfully conveys the personal strength and sorrow of individuals facing punishment or execution during times of conflict. Deep in a forest, a group of thin, weary individuals in striped uniforms stands facing something unseen, guarded by armed soldiers. The quiet setting of the woods contrasts sharply with the terrible reality unfolding. This photo reveals the grim journeys endured by prisoners during the Holocaust, reminding us of the suffering that took place even in seemingly peaceful places. In an intense outdoor scene, uniformed officers stand around a civilian whose hands are tied. One officer holds a rope around the person's neck, lifting him into a suspended position. The clear imbalance of power shows how force and fear were used to maintain control during wartime. This photograph captures a moment meant to intimidate and send a strong warning to anyone watching.